Chapter 10, 95 has been released. The title is A World Not Worth Living In. We can see a squirrel monkey that took Buggy's nose in the cover page. Chapter 10, 95 starts with the Marines running away from the center where St. Saturn landed because they are not worthy of St. Saturn's presence. Rear admirals and captains stay behind while other soldiers need to retreat because they will be dead, just like a soldier who explodes his head by staring at St. Saturn in the previews chapter 10, 94. Cut to St. Saturn's panel. Bonnie stabbed Saturn in the previews chapter, and this is the continuation. A Marine officer was worried about St. Saturn and was preparing to attack Bonnie, but St. Saturn said, "Quiet down, insects." Then Saturn grabbed Bonnie and hit her with his strange ability. Sanji reacted and was about to confront Saturn, but Saturn attacked first with his strange ability. Sanji got hit directly in the head, and his head is bleeding. Frankie is shocked because the St. Saturn wound from being stabbed by Bonnie is disappearing. Saturn tells Kizaru that it took him longer to finish his mission. Kizaru said, "My apologies. I have no excuse. I don't think I can move for a while." Saturn said, "It's okay. I understand the reason why," while Saturn looked at Luffy and tried to attack Luffy, but Frankie extended his hand to punch Luffy away from him and extended his hand again to grab Luffy. Saturn stared at Luffy and Bonnie and said, "You two joining this battle was definitely unexpected." Then Saturn thanked Vegapunk for his contribution to the military. Saturn grabbed Bonnie and lifted her up and said to the Marine officers, "Aim for the head." Sanji was trying to save Bonnie, but he noticed that he couldn't move. Vegapunk and Frankie couldn't move either, and Vegapunk said, "If this is not science, it has to be a devil's fruit ability." Bonnie said to Saturn, "You killed my father." Saturn talked back and said, "Oh, Kuma, he was born a slave. The lone survivor of the exterminated buccaneer race was a grave crime from the past." Then we have a flashback from Bonnie and Kuma's past. Kuma told Bonnie about the warrior of liberation, sun god Nika. Kuma teaches Bonnie a dance while making a beat of the drum of liberation. The next panel is a flashback to 47 years ago. Kuma was born, and the doctor has a record of Kuma having buccaneer blood. The world government has an eye in the hospital, and they captured Kuma's family and made them celestial dragon slaves. Kuma's mother died, and Kuma's father told him about the sun god Nika, the warrior of liberation. Kuma's dad started to dance to the sun god Nika while making a beat of drums of liberation, but a celestial dragon shot a gun at Kuma's father for being noisy. Kuma's father died in front of his eyes. Then, 38 years ago, in West Blue, the Celestial Dragons conducted a population eradication tournament once every 3 years in a non-government affiliated country, and they pick God's Valley. Celestial Dragons arrived at God Valley, and the King of God Valley reacted to the Celestial Dragons tournament to hunt and kill the natives. Against this tournament, because this tournament will kill his people, but in a snap, someone slashed the King of Gods, Veli, and the man who slashed the king is a young saint, Garling Figarland. In the next panel, we will see St. Saturn and a Cypherpol agent reporting to him that the buccaneer child who escaped has now been captured and returned. In the next panel, we see young Kuma captured by other slaves and saying, "If you ran away, the rest of us would die." Then someone appears and says, "I see. So you are this year's prize. I hear you are from Buccaneer Tribe." But this translation is not official yet, so we don't know if Kuma is actually a prize for the tournament. In the next panel, we will see who speaks, and it is young Ivankov with a new character, Ginny. End of Chapter 10, 95. This chapter is on fire. Kuma's special race has just been revealed, and we see the beginning of the God Valley incident 38 years ago, and we see young St. Garling Figarland looking like Shanks. Now I will make a prediction and a theory about the Buccaneer tribe. Saturn said the Buccaneer tribe committed a grave crime. I think that crime dates from the Void Century. I wonder why Saturn said he didn't expect that Luffy and Bonnie would join the battle together. I feel like this dialogue from Saturn means, is it destiny? That dialogue from Saturn makes me think that Bonnie and Luffy were connected in the past. I started to think that this revelation of the Buccaneer tribe was also a revelation. Of Joy Boy's tribe, some people say Joy Boy was a giant, not a buccaneer, because of the big straw hut in Marihoa. I think they were wrong about Buccaneer. The Buccaneer race has giant blood. Some people think a giant from the Elbaf had sex with a Buccaneer. But I disagree because I think the ancient Buccaneer was a giant, which is why they have the genes or blood of a giant. I prefer to call them a giant race called Buccaneers instead of giant from Elbaf having a baby to a Buccaneer. My question is, why is this giant race Buccaneer more special than the giant of Elbaf? If you have an idea about this, feel free to comment with your idea, and I will read it and make a video theory about what is special about the Buccaneer tribe. I want to discuss the God Valley and who will save Bonnie from Saturn, but I will make a separate video for prediction and theory about that. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.